Let's go back to the hotline. Scott Livingstone, Aggie legend on the baseball side, joining us to break things down. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. And sorry to kind of switch you up here on the rundown. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. I don't shave for many people. So,
Well, hey, I want to talk from your perspective how tense of a weekend it's been for Aggie baseball because I felt very comfortable throughout Saturday's game, but it's still the College World Series. Yesterday, though, even with the lead, it's super tense.
yeah, there's kind of been one team that's worried me the whole year, and it was Tennessee. It's when I saw the bracket and they were on that side and we were on the other side. I was like, okay, this is going to come to a head. It's going to be these two teams because they really are similar. They can hit for power. They've got good pitching, just like we do. I mean, if you look at the series, we've got 20 hits, they have 19. We've struck out 23 times, they've struck out 29 and walked 9 and 7. I mean, the numbers are so similar. It's like anything can give at any moment. And one-run lead is tough. That's tough to sit there. And I was at the Ranger game actually at a birthday party watching it in a suite. And so I was going in and out trying to watch a little bit of the Rangers, but watching more of the Aggies. So yeah, I feel your pain for watching that 1-0 at for 7 innings.
But really, all you can ask for is a chance to be playing on the last day of the season as one of the last two teams, have a pitcher who's been dynamite for you in Omaha, and an offense that I think is knocking at the door to do something big.
No, I agree. I'm assuming Lampkin's going tonight. I haven't heard anything. Is Lampkin pitching tonight?
Yeah, Lampkin is going tonight.
Okay, and so they have their guy, Xander Sechrist. I think that's how you say his name. If you look back at his starts, he's gone 6 1/3 in his super and then 6 1/3 against Florida State. So, yeah, you want to be here at the end. Obviously, this is awesome. I was flipping through the channels last night, and I saw Field of Dreams, and who's not going to click on that, right, to watch that movie? And it talked about baseball and how pure it was, and these guys have really given us an amazing season. No matter what happens tonight, they've got people excited. The 12th man, the fan base, and stuff. So, yeah, to go as far as they've gotten, they definitely have the talent. And I picked them in 3, so I feel like they can take it tonight. They just got to get Sechrist out early and get in the bullpen.
Scott, Jace LaViolette yesterday joined you as the 3rd member of the 50 home run club. There's only 3 that have done it, and it's just such a great honor, and he's still just a sophomore. I know it feels like he's more, but he's just in his 2nd year at A&M.
Yeah, people have told me about that, and I'm like, okay, look, I hit 10 my freshman year, and I think it was 6 or 7 my sophomore year. So I only had like 16 or 17 after 2 years. So I don't really consider myself a power hitter, but I see Jace as, yeah, it took me 4 years to get 50. So what this guy's done in 2 is amazing. There's going to be a few more guys down the road join the 50 home run club, probably Grahovac, Sorrell maybe. And so it's a nice number, but I don't see myself as a power hitter. I see him as a power hitter, and it's just, I'm happy for him because he's such a great young man, and just on and off the field, it's fun to see and fun to watch.
Yeah, he is a great young man, and I don't want to say the word "do" because he did hit a home run yesterday, but I feel like he's knocking on the door of a greatness moment, not just a dinger, but like the way he was moving yesterday made me encouraged that maybe on the last day of the season he's going to show us the Jace LaViolette we've seen for 90% of the season.
No, I agree because, he's taking some close pitches that he probably could have swung at, and he ended up walking. He's been walked a lot. And like you said, he showed yesterday when he had that base hit kind of between the first baseman and second baseman yesterday late in the game, he ran the bases pretty good. And he actually had to shut it down and put the brakes on around first base. And, for his hamstring to hold during that, that's a real good sign. So, yes, I agree. He's, due is not the right word, but yeah, I agree. He's up for a big game.
You mentioned the name Gavin Grahovac earlier. Let's talk about the freshmen on this team and the young players, because I put Jason in a different category, and I could really put Gavin in a different category because he doesn't walk like a freshman, he doesn't talk like a freshman, he doesn't look like a freshman, but yet from a college baseball experience, He's just got this season under his belt. You've got Caden Sorrell. You've got others that have really stepped up and shown you like, hey, the future of Aggie baseball is bright beyond what happens with Prager and Evan Oschenbach here at the next level, Braden Montgomery at the next level.
Yeah, totally. 100%. I mean, you see they're backloading that roster and that clubhouse and filling it up with guys that can really play. And you hear them talk about Jack Bell and that, they really believe in what a good player he's going to be. And so they have talent on the bench that aren't able to play because, like Sloss says, where are they going to play in this lineup, right? I mean, we're stacked. So it's the future of Aggie baseball, I think, is yes, it looks awesome. This season has excited everybody, and I think it's just going to get better and better.
Scott Livingstone with us here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. All right, back in your day, all right? Back in the 1900s. I'm kidding, Scott. Back in your day.
We're going way back.
Hey, back in your day, if Christian Moore would have done that act to one of your pitchers, I don't want to say it was a different day, right? And you don't want to do anything stupid in the College World Series. But let's just say it would have been met with a different. Look, the Aggies handled it perfectly. Chris Cortez was perfect. He ignored it, laughed it off. But I'm just saying, back in the day, he might have gotten something in his ear hole.
Yeah, we would have buzzed his tower, and it's just a different game now. And with I was telling somebody about the home runs that were being hit. A lot of times I didn't know if mine were going out, so I had to run no matter what. I didn't have time to look at it and throw the bat down and flip it and all that stuff. And plus, I didn't want to do that anyway because I was going to get one in the ear hole. But yeah, I thought that was kind of not a lot of class on his. If he's saying, "Hey, throw me a strike or throw me a fastball," because he might have thrown him 4 breaking balls at that time, and he probably wanted to be challenged. But we're there. They're there to get him out. You're not just going to give him the pitch that he wants. We're going to throw him what we want to throw him. So, too bad.
We talked about the future. Let's talk about guys that have left an enormous impact on this program's legacy. Ryan Prager, even Braden Montgomery, in just not even a full year because he didn't get to finish it out. But and of course Evan Oschenbach there, 3 guys that I think have left just such a legacy, and we're going to remember. We're going to watch them at the next level and think about their time at A&M and be like, those guys all played at the same time here at A&M.
Yeah, and it's also too the way that the fan base and everybody wraps their arms around those guys. And Braden only being here 1 year, right? But man, did he excite everybody in the fan base and has endeared himself to, the culture and stuff like that. I mean, solid young man like they all are. Oschenbach, I mean, stopper of the year. I mean, my gosh, I'm glad he wasn't around when I was playing, back in my day, right? Way back then. So, these guys are tough. And yeah, this is going to be a season to remember for sure. All
right. We've got a theme on the show, and I'm going to ask you, who's going to be the hero tonight? If A&M is going to win a national championship, who's the hero? You can give me an offensive player or a pitcher. You can give me whatever you want. It can be Schloss. I don't care. Who's the hero tonight?
I think I'm going to go with my future Savannah Banana, Hayden Schott.
The future Savannah Banana. Okay. You know what? That's not a bad answer because he's been pretty much fantastic throughout.
The guy's a professional hitter. I mean, he's got a huge knee brace on. I figured they would have had a better knee brace back, nowadays, like skinnier and, not as, clunky as the one that he's wearing. But, he's a professional hitter. And I think he's going to face I think Sechrist is left-handed tonight. So he gives you good at bats and he doesn't try and do too much at the plate. He'll get those singles up the middle and that occasional double down the line. And then, one he hit yesterday would have been out at Bluebell Park, but it was in, Charles Schwab, which, that fly balls tend to die out there in the outfield.
Like Ryan Targach, right? That one at the end. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So I told you I went to the Ranger game. I don't know how much time you got on the show, but
I'll take your time.
Outside of Globe Life, there's this place called Texas Live.
Yep.
And it's got all the, it's got bars and restaurants and all that stuff. But we were in there watching the end of the game because we had to get to the suite at Globe Life because the game was over. They did 2 hours. And so we watched the rest of the game. And my 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 daughter, my son-in-law, my wife, we're all up there, we're watching the game in Texas Live, and my wife goes, if they tie the game or they go ahead right here, you're going to have to go ride the mechanical bull that's up in the little bar in the area. And I was like, okay. So I was going to do it. But as soon as he hit that ball, he kind of fooled me because the way he looked after he hit it, they were showing him first. And it was like, and the whole place, Texas Live, just was like cheering, thinking he got it. And man, it was close. How sweet would that have been?
It would have been sweet, especially considering his story, the 12th man, and he was a huge part of the team that went to Omaha 2 years ago, and this year, some injuries have held him back, and he, it wasn't the year that he expected, but it would have been a brilliant final act, and maybe there's a chance for that tonight. Is there any thing that you think in particular that you see has to happen in this game? Is this going to be a pitcher's duel? Is this going to be finally an offensive game where both teams go off offensively?
I think it's going to be a little bit of a pitcher's duel. I really believe we have to get into their bullpen. I think it's managing the staff, piecemealing it together once you get the starter out. I mean, I don't know who they have all on the roster for the World Series. I don't know how many pitchers they can carry, but I mean, throw Tanner Jones out there for one inning and just blow and go 96, 97 for one inning. Or, I think that's what you're going to see tonight if the starters don't go that long. And even if they do go a long time, you can still see guys coming in. But Tennessee's basically shot all their bullets yesterday to win the game. They've used mostly all their pitchers that they use in these series. And we still have some in the bullpen that haven't come in. And so I think we're in good shape. I really do.
Scotty, I appreciate you, buddy, man. Thanks so much for help throughout the season. Hopefully we're celebrating a national championship.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.